from VenturedOggie. I'm a dog trainer in Southern Maine. If you're enjoying this content, just like and subscribe so I can keep making more videos for you. And please, as always, reach out with any questions that you have. You can get all my contact information below. So today I wanted to talk about a common question I get, which is, should I teach my dog to leash walk on a harness or a collar? What works best for not pulling? And my answer to that is, honestly, it doesn't matter. It matters how you teach it. So if you know how to use the tool, that's what's going to matter in this situation. The harness is not teaching your dog not to pull. The collar is not teaching your dog not to pull. You are teaching your dog. So if that sort of sounds like, how do I teach my dog to not pull? You're not alone. That's a lot of people don't fully understand that your leash is a way to talk to your dog. So anytime there is slight pressure, and by slight pressure, I mean, if your dog had a collar on that they feel this, that's already should be telling them something. If they're feeling this and that's the only thing they can feel, that's too much. And if they don't even care and they just think keep pulling, then they don't know. They honestly don't know what the point of it is. And they just think, whatever, pull through this. It doesn't mean anything. So whether you have a harness or a flat collar, how you're using the tool is what matters. So to just sum it up very quickly, you want to teach your dog that when they feel slight pressure, so if this leash was attached here, they feel slight pressure, it means yield, not I pull and you come with me. So when your dog gets this release, that's what teaches them what to do. So a lot of really big, strong dogs will pull until your arm kind of comes off, right? And then you come with them and they learn, oh, just pull really hard. Then I get to go where I want to go. If they pull and it doesn't work and then they yield and then you get to go together, then they learn to yield and not pull. So that's like very general how you want to be using the leash. And there's obviously a lot of nuance to it. What I'll quickly go over, just because this kind of opens up the conversation for like different tools. So regular flat buckle collars are what I tend to use. Slip leads, you've probably seen, they kind of like slide through a loop, kind of like this, like a choke chain, but it wouldn't be a chain. It would just be like a regular leash. Those like cinch down. I'm not a big fan of those for some other reasons. You'll often see collars like this, martingale collars, that also cinch down. They'll have like another loop right here and they'll cinch down. Not a big fan of those either. Prong collars are another one you can use. E-collars you can also use in a version if you know how to use it for leash walking. So lots of different things that you can use. My advice would be, if you're using something like a choke chain, a prong collar, and especially something like an e-collar, you need to have a trainer helping you with it. There's just too much room for error and there's so much nuance to it that you really don't want to teach your dog this incorrectly, because dogs can pull like crazy on a prong collar, which is something it's pretty ugly to see that, because I mean, can you imagine pulling on something like this? And this is digging into your dog's skin. It's not great. Or if they suddenly react to something, they can get physically harmed by those things, so choke chain or prong collar. So a lot of that is just user error. People are putting their dog in an environment they're not ready for. It's not the tool that's the problem, it's kind of the user. So same thing with e-collars. Like there's a lot of misunderstanding around how to use an e-collar as communication instead of just correction, and timing and nuance are very ingrained in any of those tools. So you really want to get help with a trainer if you're going to use a tool like that. Otherwise, flat buckle collar, regular old harness, and by regular old harness, I mean one that doesn't clip in the front and tighten on your dog's shoulders. That's a no pull harness, or sometimes you'll see front clip no pull harness. I don't recommend those for like long-term use, but as a temporary fix as your dog is learning, they can be helpful so that you can still get, let's say, like your 6 or 7 month old puppy out into environments where they can be social and you're not crazy worried about their leash walking quite yet. But I don't like long-term use of those because they squish their shoulders and over time it'll give them arthritis in their shoulders. So not a great tool to be using all the time. But hopefully that answers your question about, harness versus collar. Does it really matter? No, not really. It's all about user education and knowing how to use the tool. And when you use the tool properly, you can teach your dog to not pull. If you're using the tool Improperly, you can teach your dog to pull. Or you could teach your dog to pull on a harness because you want your dog to pull on a harness if you're doing like sledding or canicross or whatever you might be doing. So that's really all I have to say about that. Please reach out with any questions and remember to like and subscribe below.